Google ads versus Facebook ads, the pros and the cons. Which one should you be using in 2022? What's up, guys? My name is Marcus. Welcome to my channel where we talk about all things Google advertising, YouTube advertising, display network advertising, Google shopping, you name it, we do it. Now, before we bite into the meat of this burger, guys, please make sure you smash that like button and that subscribe button and check that little notification bell so it ensures that you receive all of my up and coming training videos. That's all about Google advertising. All right, so let's get into this. So Facebook, the pros about Facebook. So the first one is the amount of audiences, the sheer reach of Facebook is phenomenal. There's like 1.8 billion users every single day on Facebook. So, you're not gonna have issues with scaling your campaigns, once those start becoming profitable. All right. So the vast amount of traffic going through Facebook is huge. There's a truck ton of them. Right. Now, number two, okay, the user interface is much easier to use than, say, for example, Google. All right. It's much more user-friendly, much more noob-friendly. On Google, they have like two different types of user interfaces, whereas on Facebook, I believe there's just one. And it's easy to set up your columns for your data. All right, easy to read, and it's not overly hard to understand. Okay. Now, reason number three. Okay, the third reason why you want to be using Facebook is the targeting. All right. So, for example, if I want to target men who are between 20 and 30, who like surfing, who like cats, and who are liberals or conservatives, right? I can do that. I can target that on Facebook. It's absolutely mint, right? So the targeting can be super, super granular, and you can put your ad, your offer in front of the right people who are scrolling through Facebook. All right, reason number four. The fourth reason why you want to be using Facebook is scalability. Okay, you can scale to the moon with Facebook. All right, if you got a campaign that's just cruising, that's just rolling along like a well-oiled machine, you can just pump money in that sucker, just pump it. And, it's easy to scale. It's easy to scale. All right, and last but not least, reason number five, all right? You don't have to have massive amounts of money, big budgets to start doing Facebook ads, okay? You can start with as little as $5 a day, or you can go as big as $5,000 a day, or wherever you want, okay? Budget is not necessarily going to be a big issue when it comes to Facebook advertising. You can go as little as you want, but you can go as much as you want. So if you're not too sure about, if your offer is going to work, or if you're split testing landing pages or your website, whatever it may be, okay, you can put as little money into it as you want. All right, so let's talk about the cons of using Facebook as an advertising platform. So the first and biggest reason, and this drives me absolutely friggin' insane, and that is they just shut your account down for no reason. Okay, so you could have these campaigns rolling, they're just absolutely cruising, and you're just killing it, and all of a sudden, for whatever reason, you wake up the next morning and Facebook has just suspended your account and say, oh, well, you've broken one of our terms of service. And they tell you a term, which terms of service you broke, but it's a super broad, like super broad. You have no idea, right? You have no idea. So you have to go through the whole process of getting your ad account back, and it's just paused all your campaigns. So you have to go through the whole relearning period again. It's a friggin' nightmare. Okay, that is my biggest issue with Facebook, is they just seem to just shut your account down for no apparent reason, and it happens more often now than it has ever before. All right, con number two, with Facebook, advertising costs are just skyrocketing. Like they're way more expensive now than they were last year, and they were more the year before that, and the year before that. Okay, now I understand inflation and this and that, but this is particularly big with Facebook. Okay, advertising costs are going up almost on a monthly basis in many cases. All right, so your ad costs are going to continue to rise and rise and rise. Now, the reason is, one of the big reasons this is, and it kind of leads me into con number 3, right? Is that there's only so much space on the Facebook newsfeed. There's only so much space. And so what you have is you have 10 billion, well, not say 10 billion, but you have a whole ton of marketers, right? A whole ton of people trying to advertise on the Facebook newsfeed. And there's only so much, there's almost so much real estate, okay? And so your costs are to go up and up and up and up and up and up and up, right? Because there's only so much space. Now, Facebook is starting to do video ads, but they can't compete to try and compete with YouTube, but they can't compete with YouTube, man, because it's a totally different type of platform, okay? So, you know, there's only so much space that you're competing for on Facebook. Now, con number 4, okay? Number 4 is basically ad fatigue. Holy crap. Okay, so with ad fatigue, right? You may have an ad, right? And it's been running for a week and a half, or whatever, maybe 2 weeks, okay? Maybe even a few days. And it was just swimming along, just killing it, right? And all of a sudden, you're still getting clicks to it, but your results are just boom, 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 just dropping like a rock, okay? This is largely due to ad fatigue. So you are constantly battling ad fatigue, constantly having to create, you know, new ads, new creatives, you know, new images to catch people's attention, okay? Which is really annoying because people tend to be in that zombie zone when they're going through Facebook, you know, just scrolling, you know, and you have to break them out of that. So if you run the same ad for a long period of time, it's gonna get ad fatigue. People are gonna stop noticing it, right? So you're gonna have to constantly be battling ad fatigue with new images. Like images is the biggest thing. New images, you know, new headlines, new ad copy. Okay, so dealing with ad fatigue is a big, a big pain in the rear end. All right, so those are the biggest pros and cons, in my opinion, that Facebook has. Now there are probably heaps more, and if there are any other pros and cons that you may know about Facebook or for Google, drop them in the comment section below. If you have any questions about Google ads or Facebook ads, again, drop them in the comment section below. Now, again, before I dive into the Google pros and cons, make sure you smash that like and subscribe button and hit that little notification bell. Okay, so Google ads. All right, the pros and cons of Google ads. Now let's start with the pros. So the one thing I love about Google is there are three platforms on Google. Okay, there's the search camp, there's the search network, the YouTube network, and the display network. I'm going to be talking about the search network. All right, I'll do other videos about the YouTube network and the display network, and if they're made, they'll be up here somewhere where you can click and go to those videos. So the pros about Google search advertising, the type of traffic that comes from Google search advertising. Now, what I mean by that is Google search advertising is intent-based marketing, which means people are going to the Google search platform to look for a solution, to look for an answer, okay? And you can, if your product, if your service is that answer, is that solution, you can put your business, boom, right there in front of them at the right time, at the right moment, when they're in pain, when they need some sweet relief, okay? That's what I love about it. So the traffic that comes from Google search advertising is, the quality is literally next to none. All right, reason number 2, pro number 2 about Google search advertising is you only pay per click. You only pay when someone clicks on your ad. So if you have a horrible ad and no one clicks on it, guess what? You don't get charged. Okay, you only pay per click. If your ad shows 1,000 times, no one clicks on it, you don't get charged. All right, so you only pay when people take an action and go to your website. This is a huge pro, huge tick in my book. All right, numero tres, number 3. Okay, so with Google, right, you can literally put your business, okay, on the first page of Google within 24 hours. All right. Now, and you don't have to pay a lot of money to do this. You don't have to pay a lot at all to do this. So you can push SEO aside and you can be on page 1 straight away. Now, I will do a video on SEO versus Google Ads. And if that's been made, that'll be in a link up here or over here somewhere where you can click, go to that video. So you can literally put your business on page 1 at the top, okay? Not necessarily top, but could be in the first, 1 to 3 positions at the top within 24 hours and start getting traffic really, really quick. All right, and now pro number 4, okay, is you don't really have to worry about too much about ad fatigue, okay? You create your search ad and it can literally sit there for ages and ages. I have a moving client in Tennessee that I've been running ads now for a couple of years, and I've tested in the beginning. We tested a bunch of different descriptions and headlines and whatnot, and we optimized it. And we've basically been running the same 2 search ads for 2 years now, almost 2 years. Haven't changed it, and he's still killing it. Still getting great results. Still getting leads and phone calls every day. Okay, from the same ad. So you don't have to worry about having to change ads up all the time. Okay, now you still need to try and split test and whatnot, but once you find that nice ad that's just killing it for you, leave it alone. Don't touch it. Okay, so that's a huge plus in my book, is that you don't have to keep fiddling with things, don't keep touching things. All right, let's jump into the cons of Google Ads. Now there are a few of them. Okay, so the first one I'm talking about is the reach, the amount of reach that you get with Google search. So there are only so many people typing in certain keywords every single day in whatever area you're targeting. Okay, so if you're like an electrician, for example, right, and you're advertising on electrician near me or electrician in X city, whatever it may be. Okay, there are only so many people typing in that every single day, every single month, right? And you may not show up for every single one of those searches. All right, you may be at the bottom, you may be at the top, you may be on page 2. There's only so much reach. So to scale with Google search ads, it's very difficult to do. Now, the second con when it comes to Google Ads, and this is probably the biggest one, I probably should put this number 1, but whatever, number 2, is there's a steep learning curve. Okay, with Google Ads, in my opinion, it's the big boy table, man. It's the adult table at Thanksgiving. Okay, it's a really steep learning curve, right? There are a lot of traffic traps, and the user interface is difficult to use. Okay, there's a lot of options to when you're setting up campaigns. There's a lot of options to choose from, and I'll go into those in a little bit. But it's a really steep learning curve when compared to, say, Facebook, for example. All right, so con number 3, as I said in number 2 with the steep learning curve, there's traffic traps. Now, what traffic traps are, they're basically default settings that are either ticked or not ticked or whatever it may be, and they do not help you. Okay, you can still get results, but your results will be more expensive. Okay, those options are ticked or unticked to allow Google to take more money from you, essentially. Okay, perfect example, when you're doing Google search ads, Google automatically ticks display network, so show your ads in display network and Google search partners, right? You don't want those ticked. You don't want to show up in display. You don't want to show up in Google search partners. So we don't even know who the Google search partners are. Google doesn't tell us. Okay. So we have those similar types of traffic traps that are inside the Google ad platform. So con number 4, all right, the user interface is more difficult to use, right, than say, for example, Facebook, okay? The user interface takes a bit of mucking around, takes a bit of learning, all right? What I might do is I'll do a video on how to properly set up your user interface depending on what you want to run, whether it's lead generation or e-commerce, okay? I'll do videos on those. If you're interested, they'll be in a link up here somewhere, all right? So the user interface is difficult to use. All right, so if you guys are interested in learning how to do Google Ads, I've set up a course. You can find a link in the description below that will show you exactly how myself and my team, how we set up profitable Google Ads straight out the door, okay? We don't hold anything back. We show you all the tricks of the trade. We show you everything. The course is very, very reasonably priced, okay? Again, you can find that link in the description below. Now, if you're looking for a more hands-off approach, okay? There's a link in the description below for a 2-week free trial where myself and my team, we set up your campaigns, your ads, you know, we do all the copy, all the keyword research. We get it all done for you, and we manage it for 2 weeks, 100% free, okay? If there's something you're interested in, there's a link below. It's by application only. We do not take everyone for this particular offer. So what has been your biggest learning from this video? You know, which ad platform do you think you'll be using? You know, and why? So in the description, in the comment section below, tell me why you prefer Facebook, or tell me why you want to try and use Google Ads. All right. You know, what other type of videos do you guys want to see? All right. What other type of training videos do you want to see? You know, what are your biggest problems with Google advertising? Drop in the comment section below. I try to answer as many questions as I possibly can. And again, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'll be making a whole lot more videos like this around Google, YouTube, and the display network. And we will see you in the next video.